Lakeman, trying to get Newman a good shot.
Here's Ace Abrams coming off a screen. Floater doesn't go.
Offensive foul.
And an offensive whistle on the play. Possession back to Wilson.
Centercourt, we had an excellent rivalry on Tuesday night between Canisius and St. Joe's. And like you said, we have a good old-fashioned small town rivalry here between Wilson and Akron that goes back over 50 years. Two of the top small schools, not only in Western New York, but in the state of New York. And you can always tell a good, solid program by the way that they warm up. It was really impressive to watch both teams warm up with extreme attention to detail and focus on the technique and teamwork, even in the warm-up. And that's why they're both defending sectional champions.
So just about 2.5 minutes into the game, Akron with a 5-2 lead. Early timeout called by the Lakeman. Wilson took round one by 7 back in January, 65-58. We were on hand to bring you that one as well. Tonight, the rematch. Wilson has already clinched the league title. So tonight doesn't have anything on the line other than bragging rights and the chance to finish the season without a loss in the loss column in league play.
Tough pass right there from the exceptional athlete Ryan Ho. He left his feet to pass. Oh, there's a steal by Newman.
And he's going to go in for an easy 2. Left-handed finish for Newman. 4 points for him.
And the Tigers cannot afford to give the ball to the other team and help them. Got to take care of the basketball.
Gerstung takes a screen from Brooks. Short on that attack. Rebound, George. Hesitation by Newman. Blows by one man. Can't get the finish to go. Rebound, Ace Abrams. Now Huff trying to get a steal from behind on Brooks. Brooks senses him, picks his dribble up, sends it off to the wing to Gerstung. Way off on that three-point attempt. Rebound, Brock Lepsch. Poked out by Akron. It'll stay Wilson ball.
Well, I was able to talk with both coaches before the game. We'll start out with the visiting coach, Brett Sipple. Multiple sectional champion coach. His keys for success, number one, defensive coverage. He says that Akron is too balanced to help out. Everyone's going to have to play lockdown defense on their own player and keep people in front of them. He also wants to push the tempo and get out and run for easy baskets. And offensively, they need to execute in the half-court set. They don't want the ball sticking. They want multiple ball reversals.
There's Chase Martin. Picks up his dribble, sends it up top to Lepsch. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Now Newman, guarded by Brody Hill. Screen from George, passes on that, sends it off to Lepsch. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Lepsch loses his dribble, out of bounds, turnover to Akron.
Well, we'll flow right in. The number one key for success for Justin Gerstung, also a multiple sectional champion coach. Keep people in front of them on defense, and we just saw that out of the Tigers. Number 2, box out. He says they got crushed on the boards when they played in Wilson, as we see a shot by Brooks.
Gets it to go. Friendly roll for Brooks.
And then number 3, he says their way is to stack great decisions. And that means on both sides of the floor.
Huff, one dribble, picks it up, kicks it back to Lepsch.
And we can hear Coach Sipple yelling, second side, second side. That's the ball reversals that he's talking about.
Martin's three-pointer missing. Nice rebound inside. Seamus George to keep it alive with a fresh shot clock, but his shot is blocked by Brooks.
And you said blocked by Darren Brooks. That's his 59th block on the season. That's got to be towards the top of Western New York.
Last season, Brooks led Section 6 in blocks as a sophomore.
Well, it's fair to say that number 30, Seamus and Brooks aren't playing the same size every night of the season like they are tonight.
Newman, tough jumper. That's short of the mark. Rebound Hill. Gerstung sends a pass off to Ace Abrams. It was tipped on the way there. Three-pointer is short from Brooks.
But I like that he took that shot, center court. There were several opportunities in game one that he did not take that three. He's got to take it. Every shot is a pass, and it's an opportunity for the Tigers to get an offensive board.
Huff step back three-pointer. Doesn't fall. Another rebound for Hill. Ben Gerstung on the attack. And there's the whistle. And it's going to be a foul on Brock Lepsch.
And that will be a two-shot foul. So nice job getting the ball up the sideline and pushing the tempo from the Tigers. I was going to mention earlier that obviously both coaches, their emphasis on the entire season is they want to push the tempo, control the tempo, but also the counter to that is you have to have excellent job cupping the lane and getting back on defense. And both teams have definitely emphasized we've got to get back on defense. Nothing easy. Make the other team earn every point.
Ben Gerstung hits his first free throw. Gerstung on the season averaging 16.2 per outing. He's a career 1,000-point scorer for the Tigers, and he's the coach's son.
Broke 1,000 in game one that we broadcast a couple weeks ago. And the unselfishness, he didn't want the game stopped, and neither did his father. That is selfless, and that's what you need from a championship program. Selflessness. Great ball.
Josiah Lawrence into the game for Wilson.
Seamus a little quick on that screen, and then he didn't use it.
And here's Lawrence from the corner, passes on that three, dribbles in, sends a pass off to Seamus George, finds a little space. But Brooks is there. Good defense by Brooks, not giving up much position.
And those are those opportunities that Seamus is not used to having someone that size going up against him.
Brooks steps in, puts up a short jumper, but the jumper falls short. 9-4 lead for Akron. Minute 26 left in the opening quarter. Errant pass from Lawrence. That's stolen by Blake Gerstung. All the way to the cup with the bucket. Chance for a three-point play coming up with a foul on Max Harmon underneath.
Phenomenal job of shooting the gap by Gerstung. And center court, that's where you can start, just like in football, when you start to feel that tendency, like, okay, this team's not looking to score on the first side. They're always looking to score on the second side. That's where, as a defender, you can just sort of just play off. Hey, I'm just sitting back here, going through the motions. Nope, I'm shooting the gap and getting a steal. So excellent steal and right at the right time.
Gerstung doesn't get the three-point play converted. Wilson looking for their third field goal of the game. About a minute 10 left in the opening quarter, and they got it. That's Aiden Newman finding Seamus George underneath.
Excellent basketball. You see here, this is defense offense, two on one side, two on the other, playing through the big man. He's going to start out on top, and he's going to end up down towards the basket. Oh, boy. Okay, not good defense there on Wilson on the hacking down in the basketball. You got to play. You can play with great intensity, but you got to have good technique. And now they're giving Akron a phenomenal opportunity to score under the basket as both coaches substituting early and often, keeping their teams fresh so they can play as hard as they possibly can.
Charles Redmond and Brock Lamont into the game for the Tigers. As Ben Gerstung sends that inbound up to the right wing to Brody Hill.
Little 1-3-1 zone here out of the Lakeman.
Redmond passes from the corner up to the wing to Blake Gerstung. Three-pointer doesn't go. Redmond fights for a rebound to keep that possession alive. Nice job by him.
Coming in and changing the game, and then throwing it away.
There's Blake Gerstung looking for Redmond in the corner. If Redmond was about 7 inches taller, he might have had it.
Well, Blake just tries so hard, and I know that Coach wants to focus on making good decisions, stack good decisions. He's got to keep that in mind because he just gave up a valuable possession.
Nice strong drive by Huff. Fouled on his way in.
Yeah, there's not many players out in Western New York that have that long, low first step. A track star, as you said in the previous broadcast. And he's got that nice, long, low first step like Kobe. We used to call those Kobe Bryants. And he's so low and strong that once he gets one step by you, Gerstung had no chance but to foul there.
A track star indeed. And imagine what Huff looks like streaking down the sideline when quarterback puts a little air under the ball.
Wow.
He was a heck of a wide receiver for Wilson.
Well, a receiver like that makes you look good, correct?
For sure. And he make himself look good when Coach Atlas would dial up a little jet sweep. Little flip toss to him on a jet sweep. He's got some wheels.
Well, going back to the first step, he got to the basket in one dribble.
Free throw shooting.
Last possession here.
Doesn't go for Wilson. Final possession for Akron. 10 seconds on the clock, and we've got a hold called. Inbound coming up underneath as Huff called for the hold.
We got Gerstung coming in as Coach Gerstung is going with a little offense, defense, valuing every possession. Love to see it early and often.
10.6 on the clock. Inbound from Gerstung to Brooks. Nice second pass to Blake Gerstung.
Beautiful.
2 more for him. He's got 7 in the quarter. Akron takes a 7-point lead. Wilson, final shot. Lawrence against the clock. And he didn't get the shot off in time, even though it swishes through the nets. Doesn't count. At the end of one, Akron with a 13-6 lead. You're watching the Centercourt Game of the Week on Western New York Athletics YouTube channel, brought to you by Empire Electric.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
We are back inside Akron. Game of the Week brought to you by Empire Electric. Watching on the Western New York Athletics YouTube channel, the Tigers with a 13-6 lead over visiting Wilson.
Centercourt, that last possession on the baseline out of bounds. Beautiful inbounds play by Coach Gerstung, but Darren Brooks with the assist. He has 54 assists on the season, and a center with 54 assists. Complete player.
Chase Martin too strong on his three-point attempt. Seamus George can't get a bucket to go underneath against Brooks. Back the other way is Akron. Blake Gerstung knocks it down.
And that's the stroke that Blake did not have in the first game on the road. This is his home gym. I expect those three-point shots to start dropping because he is the leading three-point shooter on the team with 46 on the season, 35%.
2 triples already for Gerstung. 10 points in the game and a 10-point lead for Akron. This is Ryan Huff. Nice pass underneath to George. George with a pump fake.
Superior block.
Stays with the defensive effort, gets another rejection.
He's blocking the basketball with excellent technique, and he's not fouling.
Now he'll drop a nice pass into Ben Gerstung. 2 more for the Tigers.
The Tigers are on their A game tonight. They're looking for each other. They're sharing it, and it all works so much better when that ball's dropping through the hoop, and it didn't drop for him in game 1.
Lepsch drives in.
Yeah, and that was number one key to success, is to keep people in front of them by Coach Justin Gerstung. And there's a perfect example. So now Brooks, oh, okay, the foul's not on Brooks. That's good. It's on Ace Abrams. But if you let your offensive player by you, it all breaks down defensively. And that's why Coach Gerstung said, number one, you've got to keep people in front of you on defense. He understands that's what Wilson wants to do. They want to penetrate by way of ball swings and ball screens, get into the gut of the defense, and capitalize.
Brock Lepsch hits them both. Averaging 7 a game on the season with 4.7 boards.
I think offensively, Wilson can use their center as a passer if he can't score.
Ben Gerstung, back rim on his three-pointer. Here's Newman, the reigning league MVP.
Great rebound in traffic. 2 hands and ripped it and landed on 2 feet with great balance in traffic.
Brooks. Another finish for Darren Brooks. 6 points in the game. 12-point lead now for the Tigers. 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Brooks came to play tonight, Centercourt.
Newman spins on the baseline, zips it up top for Chase Martin. He misses that 3. Another rebound for Brooks, who definitely came to play tonight.
He's doing it on both ends. He's talking a little bit in a positive way. Positive, productive communication with his team.
They get it into Brooks now. He goes right to work, sends the pass up top to Blake Gerstong.
Beautiful pass from the center on time, on target. Perfect example. And now we're going to need a timeout by Brett Sipple.
His third three-pointer of the game as Wilson's looking for answers. Blake Gerstong has 13 in the game. Akron with a 15-point lead. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Western New York Athletics YouTube channel brought to you by Empire Electric.
Build your next connection. Earn your next internship. Crush your next goal. What will you do next?
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Back at Akron, Centercourt game of the week. The Tigers, the defending Niagara Orleans League champions from last year. Wilson's already won it this year. Wilson took round 1, 65-58. It's been all Akron so far in this one, a 23-8 lead early on. Wilson searching for answers. Wilson searching for offense. Newman, three-pointer misses. Nice rebound, Blepsch. That's one way to find offense, cleanups.
Yeah, and Brock was a really, really big. Oh, we got a 1-3-1 zone. They're feeling it tonight, Coach.
Get it to the corner. There's Ben Gerstong.
But going back to Brock, he had an excellent game at Wilson, doing all the dirty work and helping with scoring, hitting a couple threes.
Nice defense by Ace Abrams.
That's a travel.
Newman got into the gut of the defense, left it for George. But Brooks is not allowing any shots to get where they want to go tonight.
No, and as Akron center, Darren Brooks is helping his team as a passer in the interior. That's what Seamus has to do on the off. You're still breaking down the gut of the defense. You're still getting the block. They got to have a backside cutter whenever he gets the ball. It's sort of they're all just standing and watching him with the basketball. He gets the backside cutter. Once he gets the ball in that low post, it will open up stuff on the weak side, whether he hits the cutter for a layup or foul or he skips it over the top for a 3. 1-3-1.
Abrams, high pass to the corner. Nice job by Hill to gather that pass. They get it to the opposite corner. Nice reverse. It is Blake Gerstong's night.
It was not
4 3-pointers.
It wasn't his night 2 weeks ago. You could tell, you could see it in his face that he was very disappointed in himself, but he took it as a challenge. Centercourt, what a magnificent turnaround for Blake hitting these threes.
And what a contrast of three-point shooting between the two. They're both putting shots up. Akron is hitting them at a high clip. Steal the other way. There's Huff soaring to the basket. Boom time.
And one.
And one.
Hopefully we can get a replay of that. Oh, wait. Nope, no replay.
Doesn't look like we're bringing you a replay.
Yeah, our producer was hitting the replay button. Nothing was happening. We've got, we definitely have a weak signal out here in Akron. I know Centercourt has some issues trying to get the message out that we were tipping off. He was outside in the below sub 20-degree temperature trying to do everything that he could to get that tweet out.
Never worked.
But yeah, magnificent steal and outstanding dunk by the tremendous athlete, Ryan Huff, one of the top dunkers in Western New York.
He doesn't need much space. He doesn't need anything. I've watched him get steals in the backcourt and just gather up and go up.
Well, let's see if it can ignite. What?
Look at Ben Gerstung says enough about Ryan Huff. Guess who else could flush it? Boom. Ben Gerstung. Beautiful baseline dunk. Two-hander. Brock Lepsch. Wilson needs this one. And Lepsch delivers from downtown.
Now we're starting to heat up here.
Lepsch leading Wilson with 7 points in the game. 31-15 lead for Akron. Right back inside. That's Brooks sending it to the corner to Blake Gerstung. Back to the wing. Now to the opposite corner. And nice reversal. In and out.
Another excellent shot opportunity for the Tigers.
Quickly ahead, attacking the basket is Aiden Newman. No call.
Yeah, definite contact there, but Newman initiated the contact is what the official read there. We've got a timeout here on the floor by the Tigers. Looks like we're going to have a full timeout.
So we got a full timeout. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Centercourt Game of the Week, brought to you by Empire Electric.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Need an electrician? Empire Electric is your residential wiring specialist. New builds, service upgrades, lighting, generators, you name it, Empire does it with hundreds of 5-star reviews that speak for themselves. Call Empire Electric today for your free estimate.
We're back here at Akron High School. The Tigers enjoying a 31-15 lead over visiting Wilson. Coach, you were just talking to me during the break about Ben Gerstung.
Yeah, Ben just had the two-handed slam. He is second across the board. He's shooting 79% from the free throw line. He's hit 46 free throws. He's got 70 assists. So he's got the top categories. But 62 field goals, 59% shooting from inside the arc, 33 threes, 41% from behind the arc, and then of course leads the team in assists. So all-around player, excellent basketball player, and as the coach's son, he better be, right? Started young.
It sure helps. You're part of a lot of conversations around the dinner table, a lot of extra gym time, a lot of good fundamental work growing up.
Probably a few extra face rips in practice.
Probably.
Oh, we know Justin, I guarantee.
If he's anything like every other parent in the world, you're always toughest on your own.
Baseline out of bounds. Coach Siffel always has great plays. Most important man is the inbounder.
Back rim on that three-pointer, chases down his own miss. That was Huff. Now it's Lawrence trying to get rid of it. Lofts it up to Newman. Newman guarded by Brody Hill. Kick to Eli Moore. Moore sinks the three.
Eli Moore coming in and changing the game. Focused and ready.
Blake Gerstung. There's a gift from Wilson with that ball rattling in and out. You don't see that a lot from Blake tonight.
Beautiful pass.
Nice grind by Aiden Newman. Drops it to Josiah Lawrence. He's got the bucket. Lawrence, a chance to complete the three-point play, and Lawrence took a shot. He says, I feel that one.
Yeah, and Josiah Lawrence, another reserve that came in and changed the game. He's been playing his heart out, but he hit the three just a half second too late to end the first quarter. But right there, he's running the floor, and Aiden Newman, you run the floor, he's going to reward you.
And Lawrence missing that three, but the rebound to Seamus George. Ball ends up in the hands of Ryan Huff. Two more, they make it a 4-point play. Even better for the Lakemen. And it's suddenly a 9-point game after trailing by 16. And there's Redmond.
Excellent pass by Brody Hill. He had a nice ball fake across the court to open up, to shift the defense with his eyes and his shoulders, and a beautiful pass down inside.
Newman takes the screen from Lawrence, attacks the defense, misses the shot. Nice job by Hill to save it to Brooks.
Don't pick it up.
Nice defense by Lawrence, flashing up to get Revman to pick up his dribble. They almost caught Akron there. Instead, it's Hill with a three-point attempt. And ends up out of bounds. Possession back to the Lakemen.
I want to make a point about Brody Hill. He leads the team, or second in assists, but he has drawn the defensive assignment of guarding the excellent scoring guard, Aiden Newman. He's coming out right now because he took a shot. What's going on here?
Well, whatever we just missed, there was something on the inbound, but clearly Brett Sipple feels like that was unfairly administered by the way he's talking to the officials. And Wilson forcing a turnover up top. Finally corralled in the backcourt by Blake Gerstung. And they throw it away.
Coach Sipple went to the 1-3-1. Now he's playing it a little bit more aggressively and trapping, getting the turnovers needed to have this comeback. Still down 11 with 50 seconds remaining, but they've changed the game.
Off. Gets into the middle of the defense. That shot doesn't go. He ends up on the ground. A steal by the Lakemen as Akron was moving toward attacking. Huff passes on the three-pointer, dribbles in, drops the shot, and gets it to go.
Excellent back tip there by Lemke, Nick Lemke, number 24, to make that happen.
And they're going to call a kick. Wilson almost had another steal, but Huff put his left foot on the ball. Good call by the officials.
Well, Benjamin has to stay behind the pass on that 1-3-1 trap. He cannot stay at the same level of the passer. He's got to stay slightly behind. You want to, okay, they're back into the 1-3-1. Nope, they're in man. Wait.
Baseline. Boom. Darren Brooks.
That's one way to break down that defense.
3 big dunks in this one. Highly entertaining. Centercourt game of the week. Aiden Newman trying to answer with a 3. Doesn't go. Seamus George gets the rebound, gets the bucket with 1.4 on the clock. Count it, he's got a chance to make it a 3-point play.
And you know Seamus George is never going to stop working. His coach was talking earlier to the game about his conditioning is just phenomenal. Running the floor, hitting the boards.
We are right on top of the action here. I'm feeling the energy from the Wilson bench to my right and the fans right behind us, including the JV team. You know, they started out kind of quiet when it was all Akron, and now that Wilson is coming back with a little fight, you can feel the energy in the gym.
I feel it. I definitely feel it. But Seamus, that's his 168th rebound on the season, leading the team. Oop. Violation, number 11 underneath. He stepped in too early.
And it's going to give the violation on Akron, going to give Seamus George another chance to convert this 3-point play.
Yeah, the second key to success was box out for the Tigers. Coach Gerstone said they got crushed in game 1 on the board, so this has to be a defensive board if he misses. Nope.
Don't give Seamus another chance. And at the end of the first half, Akron with a 35-27 lead on the Lakemen. Entertaining first half of play for sure. We mentioned the 3 dunks, lots of 3-pointers falling, a big lead early by the Tigers, and a nice response by Wilson. We'll be back in about 5 minutes to talk more about the first half, get set for the second half. You are watching the Centercourt Game of the Week on the Western New York Athletics YouTube channel, and it's all made possible by the generous sponsorship from Empire Electric.
Need an electrician? Empire Electric is your residential wiring specialist. New builds, service upgrades, lighting, generators, you name it, Empire does it with hundreds of 5-star reviews that speak for themselves. Call Empire Electric today for your free estimate.
I choose this MOS because I like to work on things, have hands-on.
Tracker is very important to the Army because it's a very versatile and just modular platform. There's several different variants, and that allows this one vehicle to do several different missions, and it's very important to support just the light infantry and their mission.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated, multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
At WNYathletics.com. You can link me later.
WNY Athletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Build your next connection. Earn your next internship. Crush your next goal. What will you do next?
Choose the twos. Get the help you deserve.
If a picture's worth 1,000 words, and you only get one chance to make a first impression, then your professional image is pretty important to your career success. Hi, I'm BJ Stack, owner of Stack Studios, proudly introducing Headshots by Stacks. Did you know that according to LinkedIn, profiles with professional headshots get 21 times more views and 36 times more direct messages? That's a lot of attention. And with the Headshot by Stacks, you can be sure that your image will be the talk of the corporate town. Every Headshot by Stacks goes through a 3-step editing process. We whiten teeth, we erase blemishes, we soften shadows, we even change out backgrounds, just to name a few. So your headshot makes a first impression that lasts. And with our headshot packages starting at just $99, it's never been more affordable for you to look your best. So, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, what are people saying about you?
We are back. Centercourt game of the week. Akron leading Wilson 35-27. Exciting first quarter. Coach Mountain, you had a chance before this game. Talked to both coaches. They gave you the keys. You went over them in the start of the game. Let's revisit them and see how the teams are faring against how they intended for this game to go.
Well, Brett Sipple, Wilson Lakeman head coach. Number one, defensive coverage. He said they can't help because all 5 players and their reserves can score, and we've seen that. We've seen the balance of the Tigers. The ball's moving, it's going inside, outside, and the teamwork always is better when everybody's hitting, and it looks better. But the bottom line is Coach Sipple was right. So Akron's going to have to pick up the defense, which they did in that second quarter with Coach going to the 1-3-1 and then trapping out of it, which was an excellent move. It's definitely changed the game. Number 2, Coach wants tempo. He wants to get out and run. They are trying to do that, but that's tough to do when Akron is hitting shots because now it's going through the hoop and then Akron's getting back on defense. So anytime they've had a steal, they've had excellent transition offense, and obviously the windmill dunk would be the best way to finish. And then with the and one, that was an excellent three-point play. Execute offensively. He doesn't want the ball to stick, and he wants reverses. I think they're getting those, but the big difference is they're used to going inside to the big man, Seamus George, and he's struggling even getting a shot attempt off. So, again, I go back to using Seamus as a passer once he gets down to that block. I think if they need a backside cut off that post feed, and if that cut's not open, they could skip it over the top for the 3, or you could just, once that player gets it over the top on the skip, they can go inside to that player who posted up. And then for the Akron Tigers, Coach Justin Gerstung, he wanted to keep people in front of him on defense. I think that Akron is doing a very good job of that, and easier said than done when you're playing some of these phenomenal athletes and scorers that Wilson has. Number 2, box out. I think that Akron is doing a very good job of that, and you can see why that was a point of emphasis, Centercourt, because anytime Wilson got an offensive board, they either got a foul or a great shot opportunity. So that is one of Wilson's strengths, is their offensive rebounding. So although Justin will be pleased with the effort, it's not going to be good enough. They're going to need to box out even better the second half to get the win. And then number 3, stack great decisions. We've seen some really, really, really good passing from Akron. Not only are the players in the correct position on the floor, but they're looking for each other and to share the ball, and they're making the right play. Now, of course, Wilson made a few plays on the defensive end, but that's going to happen. They're a great team. You just got to go on to the next one. But some of the technique's been a little lackadaisical on some of those skip passes down into the corners, but they're going to clean that up in the second half. But Coach Centercourt, you had a great intro that was not picked up. I'd like you to read that intro again because I talked to our producer and we had a bad connection, which he wasn't aware about on the laptop. Can you go ahead and read that intro as we start this second half so our viewers can appreciate it?
So what I was saying at the top was that on February 8th, 1991, I turned 16 and I got my learner's permit that day. Later that evening, I was here in Akron and the Wilson Lakemen were taking on the Tigers. I was a member of the JV team at the time, and the Wilson boys varsity was undefeated. Their stiffest competition in league that year was Akron. On that memorable evening, Wilson defeated Akron for a second time that season, and they became undefeated league champions for the first time in program history. Brett Sipple was the senior point guard leading that squad. 35 years later, Brett Sipple is the head coach of the basketball team. They've made it through the league undefeated. And they show up tonight with an unblemished record here at Akron. And the unfinished business, obviously, is beating Akron to actually finish the season undefeated. One league game remains. And, you know, just like 35 years ago, Wilson's back here at Akron trying to finish as undefeated league champs. The Tigers, we know, are defending Class B champions. They're defending Niagara League champions. They've got some players, and they're a proud program. We're going to see how the second half shapes out and how it all shapes out. But I remember a lot about that evening. I had 15 boys back over to my house after the game.
Pizza and wings.
Absolutely. I remember the song Disappear by NXS was playing on the speaker during warm-ups when I was here that night. So I threw it on. I threw it on as a track when I was coming up to the game today, you know, just to reconnect. And Chase Martin gets the second half underway with a bucket for the Lakemen. His first of the game, 35-29, closest Wilson has been since the first quarter.
Way to tug at the old memory there, Centercourt.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody before the game, and I had given him that nugget about NXS and Disappear, and he said, make sure you say that on the broadcast. I said, I will, because that's the kind of stuff Coach Mountain eats up.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Coach Mountain and I were in high school at the same time, you know, so we share a lot of the same nostalgia and memories. And Darren Brooks to the line for Akron. Hits his first toss. Brooks has 9 points in the game. Probably just as many blocks, it seems like, tonight.
He's got a little blood coming out of his nose now, so...
We're going to take a break as they jam some cotton into the young man's nose. We're back at Akron. Centercourt game of the week. Tigers with a 7-point lead, 36-29 over Wilson. Quick pause in the action as Darren Brooks was about to shoot a second free throw. Had to come off the court to be tended to real quick. And we are going to resume play without Brooks in the game as they continue to tend to Brooks. And instead, it looks like Charles Redman will step to the line, and he will take the second toss on Brooks's behalf.
Interesting. So I believe the rule is Coach Gerstung could have called a timeout. And
instead, he brings Redman in. Redman hits the second toss. 1 point for Redman. And an 8-point lead for the Tigers.
Yeah, really good defense here by number 24.
And Abrams going to be called for a blocking foul as Ryan Huff was driving in.
Yeah, that's a tough call there on Abrams. He was working hard, moving his feet, and Huff sort of dropped the shoulder on one of those jet sweeps that you were talking about and ran him over. I was never like that as a defender. It's like, well, what do you want me to do? Get out of his way? I'm moving my feet. I've established legal guarding position.
Lepsch on the inbound. Sends it in to Chase Martin. Martin dribbles, stops, sends it back to Newman. Newman's three-pointer rolls around the rim and out.
Ooh.
That is on the baseline. Ball goes to Akron.
That's a fortunate call for Akron. If you're Akron, if you're young players, always grab the basketball, even if you see that the other team knocked it out in a situation like that, because you cannot allow that referee to make a mistake. Don't put the onus on the official. There's one ball out there. Make sure you grab it.
You hear that, kids? Grab it. Blake Gerstung checks to see if the guy in the front row is awake. He was.
Well, that's good.
Good reaction skills by him.
We would have had another bloody nose.
We don't need it.
Looks like
we've got a timeout
30.
on the court. Is it a 30?
Okay, I think
yeah, it's going to be a 30.
30-second timeout. We're going to stay here.
He's tickling the shoulders, telling us it's a 30.
Oh, we've got the winning 50-50 winner coming over to the table here.
Mr. Foster.
Mr. Foster with the...
Hey, Mr. Foster wins a 50-50 mid-broadcast. And you know what the good thing about him is? He's here on hand supporting one of his fellow Buffalo Titans. That's good stuff. So
that is good stuff.
That's one of the great things that comes out of summer basketball is relationships people make. Mr. Foster's son, Stash, was a senior last year at Williamsville South. An excellent standout senior for that sectional champion Williamsville South team. His son played summer ball with the Gerstongs. He's here in support tonight, and he wins a little cash for making the trip.
Very cool. So he's definitely got dinner tomorrow night, but he might have dinner tonight on the way home, too.
He might.
I think he's going to. All right, we're back to the game here. Man defense. I'm going to point out number 24 for the Tigers. Excellent defense. Look at that footwork. Measuring him, not taking his eye off. He's no help.
Seamus George can't get it to go. Stays with it. Nice rebound by George. Draws the foul.
Yeah, and Coach Gerstung is not happy because that was his number 2 key to success. Block out. You're going to have to. And there was 3 Tigers there, Centercourt. You got 3. So to not have one body on them just doesn't make any sense. You can't step back and just wait for your partner and your teammate to do the dirty work. You just got to go do it in a game like this. Every possession counts.
First free throw attempt from George. Falls through. He's got 6 points in the game. Comes into this one averaging 10.3 along with 9.3 rebounds. Had a career high 38 points in a victory over MST earlier this year. They couldn't stop him.
Doesn't sound like anybody wanted to.
2 for 2 for George. 7 in the game. 6-point game in favor of Akron.
1-3-1 trap here. Nice job by Brody Hill coming behind.
Trying to get the entry pass into the post. Another steal by the Lakemen. Newman resets. Launches a deep one. Still can't get it to fall.
And Brody gave him too much space there. You can't let him rock it and start dancing with it to get into rhythm. Got to help each other out against this.
Newman works so hard to get shots off, he's almost not sure what to do when it's that easy. Meanwhile, at the other end, someone who has got the touch tonight, and that's Blake Gerstung. 5 3-pointers. 9-point lead for Akron. We need a timeout, and we're going to take one. We'll be right back. Centercourt Game of the Week, brought to you by Empire Electric.
Build your next connection. Earn your next internship. Crush your next goal. What will you do next?
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Welcome back to the Centercourt Game of the Week at Akron. Tigers with a 40-31 lead over Wilson 2 minutes into the second half. If you have been impressed so far with the fine camera work tonight, that's thanks to Russ Battaglia, the best in the biz from West New York Athletics. He's on the camera tonight. Our producer is Mike Goodberry. I'm joined here at the table by my guy Ryan Mountain doing color, and this is Centercourt bringing the action.
That last possession, Blake Gerstung hit his 50th 3 on the season. He's hitting 5 tonight, and but it was often a tremendous assist by Charles Rebman, who's had a nice game on both ends coming in off the bench. And that was a beautiful pass out of the trap to the slot for the open 3-point shot. Coach Gerstung wanted good decisions, and that was a good one.
Huff lets that corner tray go. Nothing but net for Huff. 9 in the game for him.
Yeah, soft defense there, but he's a tough guard because he can put it on the floor and go around you.
It was almost a soft defense to the point where the coach said, let him have that shot. We'll live with Huff shooting the 3 because Ben Gerstung's a heady player. Meanwhile, at the other end, that's Brody Hill. His first points of the game. It's a three-pointer. Hill knocking down his 30th triple of the season. He shoots 42% from the arc, beyond the arc, excuse me.
Brody's having a fine basketball game. Number one on the defensive end, guarding Aiden Newman.
Can't let that happen. There's Blake Gerstung.
6-3 on the night. And
6-3 on the night, 59th on the season now for him.
I think he hit like 1 out of 12 or 2 out of 13 last game. So it's really nice to see a young man challenge himself, not be concerned with the past, living in the present, and taking it as motivation. And more phenomenal defense from Brody Hill.
Blake Gerstung was on the Centercourt sniper squad last year. That means he made a lot of three-pointers. Guess what? He's coming back to it this year. 59, that'll put you in the squad.
Back in the man defense, and you hear Coach Gerstung, excuse me, yes, man.
Redmond, too strong on that one.
Too strong, but Brody should have crashed from the weak side. Might have been able to steal an offensive board on that air ball.
Instead, it goes into the waiting arms of Newman, who's trying to get a step on Hill, but well defended.
Well defended, and Darren Brooks was there for the help.
Hoff puts the ball on the floor, steps back, lets a three go, misses. The rebound to Brooks. Now Brooks, spin in the paint.
Offensive
and
foul.
that is going to be an offensive foul as he knocks Martin to the ground. Chase Martin draws the charge.
Yep, not a good decision there by Darren Brooks, as there was 3 orange jerseys waiting for him. He did his job, he penetrated. All he had to do was just turn and find an open shooter. So that cost his team, and it cost himself a foul.
Absolutely.
And I'm only saying that because Coach Gerstung just harped on how the way of Akron is to make proper decisions.
Huff. Soft jumper doesn't go.
Yeah, not a bad shot. He can hit that, but Coach Sipple not happy with the shot selection. Ball did not move.
Huff into the open court, soaring, and misses. He wanted a foul call. He doesn't get it.
Stay behind. Oh, there. Wilson back into that solid man defense.
Huff gambling on a steal attempt, doesn't get it. Extra pass to Hill.
Bam.
And beautiful extra pass.
Beautiful pass. Now, that was an excellent decision. Darren didn't make the same mistake. He got in there, 2 stopped off, playing off 2. Beautiful pivot for the wide open 3.
We've got a full timeout on the floor. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Centercourt Game of the Week on Western New York Athletics. Game's getting physical.
Yes, it is, Centercourt. Our referees, Anthony Freeman and Nick Haruki, are doing an excellent job letting them play a little bit of physical, but man, the crowd behind us was on them. That situation there after the shot, somebody hit the deck, and you're seeing a lot of bodies hit the floor. And it makes me think of the Akron Tiger alumni, J.C. Treader, who was a phenomenal center in his own right in basketball, and those sectional champions with the Short brothers. Excuse me. Yes, for Akron, but
he played with the Shorts. He was a sectional champion in 2009.
Yep.
Drafted by the Green Bay Packers. Went on to play for the Browns.
History worth it. All right, more good defense.
I believe Treader was also the head of the players.
Yeah, yep, head of the unit. We got a timeout. Whoa. Okay, we've got a warning.
And a warning assessed.
But how about the defense coming off the bench for these players? That was a phenomenal defense there by Josiah Lawrence.
Josiah Lawrence, who made the point the last time we broadcast the Wilson-Akron game. He's a defensive presence for the Lakemen. Always comes in and makes something happen with his defense.
That is the role of a reserve player, to come in and change the game.
Wilson down 15, trying to get back into it again. They've been as close as 6. Rejection by Brooks. Brooks from straight away passes. They get it to the wing. Sends down to the block. Brooks kicks it to the corner. Blake Gerstung, number 7 in the game, number 60 on the season.
Another beautiful assist by
Newman
the center.
Comes right back. Almost gets his first to go from downtown. Doesn't. It rolls around the rim and out.
And he's had a couple of those tonight.
Blake Gerstung.
Feet check.
Nice job by Hill cutting off the attack by Newman. So Newman resets. Reversing to the far side. Lawrence hands it back off to Newman.
Look at the help. So defensively for Akron, I can't say enough about the individual effort and technique defensively from Brody Hill. He's really doing a nice job, and he's efficient with it. But if he is beaten, there's always a teammate waiting to help. So the point I'm making is, to stop a great scorer, it's not an individual effort. It takes all 5 players to constantly know where he is at all times.
Ball inbounded to Newman.
There's a perfect example. 3 different Tigers just guarded.
Nice
Newman.
rebound by Eli Moore, and a foul as he collects that. Going to be charged on Blake Gerstung.
Yeah, that's a tough call there. Just 2 guys going for it, but going back to the shot attempt, you had 3 different Tigers guarding Aiden Newman on that particular possession. Team effort. There's a guy that's come in and changed the game. He banged a 3. He's getting offensive boards. Now a chance to get 2 from the free throw line. Both teams, if you're not going to go 15 and 3 and 18 and 1 without solid contribution from your bench.
Eli Moore, the goalie that made all the saves in the soccer season for the Wilson team, all the way to a state championship appearance.
That tells me he has no fear.
Made the first, missed the second. Long rebound almost came back to him. Instead, it's in the hands of Brody Hill.
Nice job there. Just settle down.
Blake Gerstung tries to send it into the post. Wilson hits the floor. That's Josiah Lawrence.
Yeah, and Blake wants that pass back. He sort of
waiting for the
set
call.
that all up.
And it's a
That's going to be the
foul's called on Brooks. That is his 3rd. Possession back to Wilson, and that's actually going to put Josiah Lawrence at the line.
Yeah, that's a 2 tough fouls there, and for both teams on each possession. We've got another substitute coming in. Coach Sipple just told his player, you could talk to those guys after the game. For right now, you got to check into the scores table. That's what he just told number 24, Nick Lemke here. Coach Sipple, just a class act. And Coach Rob Cohane, his JV coach, was my JV coach at NT for years, and modified coach, and another class act.
1 of 2 for Lawrence. 30 seconds on the shot clock, 36 left in the quarter. Gerstung drives in, sends it back to the corner to his cousin Blake.
Beautiful basketball. That's called a crackback. Drive in space. two cousins knowing where each other are on the court.
That's 8 3-pointers on the night for Blake Gerstung. Let me repeat that, 8 3-pointers.
He just passed Coach Mountain for the season in 95 in one game.
Huff's 3-pointer misses. Can we make it 9 on the quarter? And that would have been something. Blake Gerstung's heaved on the quarter. It doesn't fall. 55-36. Big lead for Akron. We'll be right back to finish up the Centercourt Game of the Week.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Education has power. Binghamton University students discover it, apply it, unleash it. Unleash your education today.
Need an electrician? Empire Electric is your residential wiring specialist. New builds, service upgrades, lighting, generators, you name it, Empire does it with hundreds of 5-star reviews that speak for themselves. Call Empire Electric today for your free estimate.
We're back at Akron. Tigers enjoying a 55-36 lead at the Centercourt Game of the Week after holding Wilson to just 2 field goals in the third quarter. Not how the Lakemen wanted to come out of halftime.
Yeah, and Centercourt was funny because I went all the way down this hallway looking for Coach Gerstung, and he comes out and, give each other great greeting, and says, "What do you got for keys for success?" And he jokingly says, "Put the ball in the hole." And there was some truth behind that, though, because they did not shoot well from the perimeter in Wilson, and he knows it, and the team knows it. And certainly today, with his nephew hitting 8 3-pointers, 24 points just off his perimeter shooting has been the difference. Look at that ball movement, player movement.
Charles Redmond, shot fake, dribbles in. Got himself into some trouble.
First down. Oh! How can that not be a foul? The way that Anthony Freeman sees it, he two players going for the basketball. But even if that was the case, maybe a jump ball. So, of course, both officials officiated the JV game, I believe, there, Centercourt.
They sure did. People behind us yelling, "No!" Now a little discussion about it. Maybe we think that was a foul? No, we're just going to reset the shot clock.
Yep. So that tells us what? If there was a change of possession?
Well, it would have been Newman had possession. He's saying Newman stepped out of bounds with it. Didn't give him a foul, so.
Great offensive board. Clock is your friend here if you're Akron. 30 seconds.
And, Brooks with 3 fouls. Didn't need that to be a charge. Foul goes on Huff.
Now, going back to Wilson and the phenomenal season they have, I mean, what are they, 3 points away from being undefeated? They had the loss to Lewiston Porter, who played a great game after getting crushed by Grand Island. So look at
nice
that.
Play by Brooks. What work.
Another excellent play by Brody Hill. Great assist there. But Wilson hasn't been here all season. They're down, 21 points here, Centercourt.
Well, this is uncharted territory for this team this season.
Well, then this is an important 6 minutes and 50 seconds for them to see how they can answer. They answered the challenge in the first half. Their work ethic will be there. But can they make the right plays?
I mean, I've watched this Wilson team be down several times this season, and they've always come storming back.
Coming to you, Centercourt.
I don't think that's going to be the case tonight. It's a pretty significant 21-point deficit and just 6:33 left. And, just even body language doesn't tell me it's going to be Wilson's night here tonight.
Last time that we made that assumption, Centercourt, it was a great fourth quarter comeback. So hopefully we can get the same have a nice, good, exciting fourth quarter for our viewers. But even if they don't come back, they still got to play good basketball, work their hearts out so they have nothing to hang their heads about going into the sectionals. This is a vital game for them.
So let me ask you, as a former coach, you've got an undefeated team or a team, with one loss, but you've got a team with the moxie and having the season that the Lakemen have been enjoying. And they take a loss like this right before sectionals. Is this something that you see will be like kicking a hornet's nest for a talented athletic team, or is this the kind of thing that can get in their head and sit there with them walking into sectional play?
I think first and foremost, you got to respect your opponent and understand that you are on the defending Class B sectional champions floor, who's coming off a loss that you took care of business on your home court. So going into it, you know you're going to have to play your best basketball to win. And again, if you finish this off in a positive note, you just understand that there's got to be a winner and a loser, and you want to appreciate this going into the sectionals, win or loss, because it gets you grounded and it gets you to understand that every minute of preparation and practice is extremely valuable now, because now you're getting into the playoffs and the sectionals where the other coach is going to be working extra hard at scouting everything that you do and your strengths and weaknesses and who to force this way and who to trap and who not to trap, all that type of stuff. So this is a great late season game for both of these teams. And also Akron's a bigger school, correct?
Yes. Yeah, a B2 compared to a C. Not a huge difference, but big enough. As Brooks now has 13 in the game, another post score for him.
Little extracurricular activity by Darren Brooks.
So interestingly, Aiden Newman, who is averaging 25.2 a game for the team, has been in double figures in every outing this season. His lowest output, 15 points in a game. Tonight he's got just 2 buckets. He's sitting on 4 points. I think the combination of the defense from Brody Hill, it just being an off shooting night for Newman, because even on some of the good looks we've seen, they're not falling like I've seen fall for him on the regular so many times tonight. And then you couple that with the night that these Tigers have had, particularly from Blake Gerstung, as Chase Martin gets that bucket to go. And that's how we get to the spot tonight.
Great point, Centercourt. And again, I'll go back to the clock. You can't watch the clock. You got to continue playing basketball, because that's important for Aiden, too, to get a couple more baskets. Now he feels good going into the next game, but, you pick your own teams at the end of the year. But as a defensive player, defensive coach, someone that believes that defense should be the backbone of your program, I got to throw a nomination for Brody Hill based on this game for your all-defensive team at the end of the year. Moving forward, I'd like you to take a little look at that individual defense, because he's a very smart defender. Not only does he stay in front of his man, he's very efficient. He's always at one arm's length away defensively. He's not reaching for the ball. He's not trying to make the big hero steal. He's very fundamental on the defensive end. And again, he's got help behind him. And of course, the big man protecting the basket makes it easy. That makes us all better defenders. But as much as Aiden might have a quiet night, you got to give the credit first and foremost to Brody Hill. Long ways to go here. This Wilson team is capable of going on 8 to 10 point runs. We saw it. Plus, after they score, they're going to be trapping, they're going to be pressing, and they're going to be trying to get Akron to take quick shots. And they're fully capable of cutting this lead to 10 in about 2 minutes, if not more. Here we go. Here we got press.
5:07 left in the game. Wilson sets up their press. And Blake Gerstung burns a timeout on the baseline.
Yeah, and Coach Justin Gerstung's not happy. They were prepared. The alignment was there for his
We're waiting to hear what the call is.
Okay, Coach Gerstung said that's fine. We'll take the 5-second call, not the timeout. So referee Anthony Freeman was saying that Gerstung, who was inbounding the ball, went to call timeout, but he didn't get it off in time, so they got the 5-second call. What is going on?
Now I don't get it. Akron should not have the ball if there was a 5-second call. Are they taking the timeout from Akron? Akron had 1 timeout left. I don't understand what's going on. They didn't take the timeout from Akron?
Yeah.
And Akron kept possession, so I would love an explanation on that. I don't know if we're getting that explanation.
Brody Hill checking back into the game.
I'm going to ask real quick.
Centercourt's going to check and see what the heck happened on that previous possession. It should have been Wilson's ball if he called 5 seconds.
And the answer was it was a gift to Akron. An inadvertent whistle is what they're calling. Essentially a gift for Akron.
All right. Well, like I said, the officials worked the JV game. So fatigue is on their part is
perhaps
to
the
be
refs
expected.
thought that Akron was asking for a timeout that they weren't asking for, and that's why they're eating it as an inadvertent whistle. Ace Abrams' shot missing.
There's nothing there. He still
Newman
finds it.
drives in and drops that to
That's a
Seamus George, and contact on Brooks. That'll be his 4th.
Now notice Seamus, his approach to that shot was a little bit different. He had a good side shuffle. He dropped that shoulder into the middle interior midsection of Darren Brooks, and that caused Darren Brooks' arms to chop down on it. Definite foul. Excellent job by Seamus. Not just, going with that jump hook that he was trying to go with earlier in the game, using that size and strength to create a little bit of separation, but a foul. And now Brooks is going to come out. He's got his 4th foul. So now Akron is going to have to face this pressure without the luxury of Darren Brooks out there to save him in the middle against these traps.
4:37 left in the game. As George's free throw doesn't go. Still a 21-point lead for Akron. Tigers are able to break the press. Now they're into their own set as Wilson sets up their zone. Cross pass to Ace Abrams. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Blake's got to lose that bad habit of picking up the ball.
5 seconds. He's going to have to launch it from way downtown. Not a great shot, but a nice rebound by Blake, and that's what can't happen. Blake Gerstung comes from the weak side, crashes in, takes that board, and gets a quick bucket. Blake Gerstung's got 30 points on the night.
Is that a career high? It's got to be up there.
I would agree with it. It's got to be up there. And we're going to
phenomenal
get you
game
that
by
answer in
Blake.
just a moment.
And that situation there was an excellent job. And that was a desperation 3, which almost went. And then he didn't just watch the ball and get back on defense. He aggressively attacked it with an attacking mindset. You got to help him out. Good.
Indeed, Blake Gerstung has bested his career high of 29 with that shot.
I knew there weren't many people out there that would have that stat, but Centercourt always does. Get out of that corner. Wilson working hard on the defensive end, but the ball moves faster than the defense as long as it's being passed without being dribbled.
Here he goes, looking for number 9.
Excellent possession, though, for Akron.
Rebound by Huff. Huff spins into the defense. Throws up a wild one, doesn't go. As we approach the 3-minute mark left in the game, the Akron lead has grown to 23 points.
Yeah, in Centercourt, you mentioned Aiden Newman scoring. He's averaging 25. Huff, the second leading scorer, is averaging 13. What's he have?
Huff in this game has 9. Newman has 4. They've combined for 13.
And that's a tough call because I think it was Newman got a little shot in there on number 21, Charles Redman, away from the ball, but the referees didn't see it. Definitely a frustrating night for Aiden. Aiden will come back you said he's a state champion in track, and also they were in the
state finalist in soccer.
So
I don't know if he's a state champion in track. I know they reached states in track, and they also reached a state championship in soccer and a sectional champion. So at least a sectional champion in 3 sports. That we know for sure, and 2 of those have reached the state level. So Brooks Gives it to Ben Gerstung. Blake against the clock. Make it 9. Make it 33. If it's Blake Gerstung's night, let's celebrate it.
Will that be the 5th foul on? Yeah, I believe that's the 5th foul on Darren Brooks on a loose ball foul. You know, this has been a phenomenal game for Akron. Akron cannot get into the back and forth with the, and both coaches are going to settle their teams down right now. This one's over. On to the next game for both teams. A lot of basketball to be played, and two teams that have the ability to go win sectional championships in Section 6 and also go on to Section 5 in the regionals. So cooler heads will prevail. Oh my goodness, they called it on. They called it on it. Wilson? Okay, then they called the technical. So the foul, 22, and then the retaliation was a technical foul on Darren Brooks. So Darren Brooks will be, that is his 5th disqualifying foul.
Lots to sort out when it gets confusing. You got a headset on and no one's reporting to the table to give you all the details.
Yeah, and we're sort of getting ahead of ourselves before the officials make the call, but the officials were talking as well. But going back to these teams, I mean, you got to settle down. I might want to even think about making some substitutions.
And here they go.
Yeah, good decision on veteran coaches.
Wilson's loading up the table right now to get some subs in the game. Looks like we're going to see Lemke, Eli Moore, Brady Seeley, and James Madden checking in.
Yeah, Coach Sipple, he's going to succeed.
Newman at the line, shooting the technical free throw, gets the first to go.
Good move on Coach Sipple. Then Coach Gerstung will look over and notice that his good friend Brett is conceding the game. It was absolutely Akron's night tonight, a dream offensive night for the Akron Tigers, and a nightmare offensive night for the Wilson Lakemen. If our viewers, this is the first time you're seeing Wilson, this is only their 2nd loss of the season, and that one was a 3-point loss against Lewiston Porter, and this just could have been.
James Madden drives in. Shot doesn't go.
Like I said earlier, though, Centercourt, sometimes a loss like this can ground you and get you refocused for the real season, which is the playoff run.
So Akron keeping their starters in. Les Brooks, who was fouled out of the game, and Redman taking his place. And there's a steal from Eli Moore. And posts in for 2 for Wilson.
Nice shot by Eli. That's hard to do.
And Coach Gerstung imploring his team to slow down.
Yeah, they're just going to pass
Bring
it
back out.
No, they'll let this fly with about 4 or 5 seconds on the clock.
So the Lakemen will finish the season 11-1 in the Niagara Orleans League. 18-2 on the season. And they will either have the 1 or 2 seed in Class C, depending on how this loss affects the seedings. As Charles Redman gets that shot to go.
And that is indicative of the night for Akron. They bleed the clock all the way down to 1 second, and they get a layup and an and one, and now wholesale changes are being made by Coach Gerstung with a minute on the clock.
Redman draws a big ovation from the home faithful on that basket.
Yeah, for Coach Gerstung, these nights don't happen a lot, so he gets to go to bed and sleep good tonight after losing over in Wilson a couple weeks ago.
And you know what, for Coach Gerstung, the team got tripped up unexpectedly by Newfane, and it happened pretty handily, you know, for them to take their first loss. Then they lost at Wilson, you know, for their 2nd loss. And Centercourt Classic appearance this year, it didn't go the same as it went last year against St. Mary's. So I think the Tigers needed this to remind themselves just how good they are. I know they believe in themselves, with a big win like they're getting tonight against a team as good as Wilson, a team who has a win in hand against them. That only, you know, for Akron has them mentally believing in themselves and probably playing at an optimum level going in. Lemke drops that pass into Brady Seeley. He was wide open for a second. Lemke didn't spot him right away. I mean, Brady Seeley was under the basket with no one in his vicinity. Like, hey.
Well, you know what that means, Centercourt? That means Lemke had it made up in his mind that he was going to let it fly before it got into his hands. And the shot opportunity wasn't there, and then he made the right pass, but like you said, it was late, but we still get 2 free throws out of it, so that's a good thing.
Sealy's first toss doesn't go.
Yeah, going back to Akron, I mean, they defeated this Wilson team, who was something of an upset last year when Wilson just shot the lights out of it and upset Salamanca in the semis, and then they beat Allegheny Limestone in the championship, and then they
both games they jumped out to a massive lead and stole all the momentum of the game. Got every neutral fan in the sports arena cheering for them.
Yeah, but this Akron team, they've got a lot of members from last year. They went all the way to the regionals, bowing out to World of Inquiry 46-58. So this is a major momentum boost for the Tigers, like you said.
And that's how this one will end. Big victory, resounding victory for the Tigers as they close out league play with a 10-2 mark. The defending champions serve notice to the new champions this year from Wilson. We're both defending Section 6 champions. Good luck to you. Let's go both win another one this year.
Absolutely. Represent our league.
I want to thank Mike Goodberry for the producing tonight, Russ Battaglia for his camera work, Frank Wolf back at Command Center. I don't know how he does it. He's like the Wizard of Oz back there. My color guy, Ryan Mountain. Remind everybody, please join us on Monday night for the regular season finale of the Centercourt Game of the Week. We will be on hand at Sweet Home, where they are hosting 2,000-point scorer Justice Kleitz and his Iroquois Redhawks. Looking forward to that one. Thanks again to everyone for joining us tonight. Your final one more time, Akron 66, Wilson 43. Good night.